Argentina fans gathered in Escobar on the outskirts of Buenos Aires, set a flag on fire. They cheered, they jumped, they chanted. The flag burned in the middle of the crowd as cameras rolled and the footage went global within hours. There was one problem. The flag they burned was the Union Jack, the flag of the United Kingdom. England play under the St. George's Cross, white background, red cross, a completely different flag. Social media responded within minutes. The biggest enemy of the Argentine isn't the English, one user posted. It's the geography book. Another wrote, "You burned the flag of the United Kingdom. England's flag is the one with the red cross. Try again." That was Monday night. By Tuesday, the FBI had formally classified Wednesday's World Cup semifinal between England and Argentina as the highest risk match of the entire 2026 World Cup. And that designation came before Argentina's foreign minister weighed in on the Falkland Islands, before the players sang Falklands chants in two separate dressing rooms, before the Atlanta Police Department issued a formal security statement to the public, before Egypt and Cape Verde supporters reported being targeted with beer bottles and abuse by Argentine fans during the tournament. This match stopped being just a football game a long time before kickoff. After Argentina beat Switzerland in the quarterfinals, the players were filmed in the dressing room singing their tournament anthem, Muchachos. The song has been a fixture of this World Cup, a reworked version of a 2003 Argentine ska track that became famous during their 2022 World Cup victory in Qatar. The 2026 version includes the line, "For the Malvinas, for Diego, for Leo's last one." Malvinas is Argentina's name for the Falkland Islands. 907 people died in 1982 when Argentina invaded and Britain fought to reclaim them. Argentina's players sang this line after beating Egypt in the round of 16. They sang it again after beating Switzerland in the quarterfinals. Both times the video spread globally within minutes. Both times FIFA took no action despite regulations that explicitly prohibit political expression inside stadiums. The players also led fans in a second chant, "Anyone who doesn't jump is an Englishman." Lionel Messi was filmed joining in both times. This was the backdrop when Argentina's foreign minister, Pablo Cuernero, published an essay this week claiming the Falkland Islands belong to Argentina and calling on Britain to hand them over. He dismissed the 2013 referendum, in which 99.8% of Falkland Islanders voted to remain British, as illegitimate. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer rejected the claim immediately. Cuernero's essay had no direct connection to football. It was published the week of a World Cup semi-final against England. That timing was not accidental. The FBI, FIFA, and local law enforcement held a joint security meeting on Monday. The outcome was a formal designation of England versus Argentina as the highest risk fixture of the entire 2026 World Cup. The Atlanta Police Department released an official public statement confirming enhanced security measures across the city. Separate entry gates at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the two sets of supporters. Designated bars to keep fan groups apart before kickoff. No segregation inside the venue itself. Widespread ticket resale has made that impossible, meaning rival supporters will sit directly next to each other once inside. The UK Football Policing Unit confirmed it is not sending additional officers to Atlanta. Atlanta is handling this alone with personnel already deployed across the city and surrounding entertainment districts. Then there is the history sitting underneath all of this. England and Argentina have met 5 times at the World Cup. Every single match produced a moment that lasted longer than the result itself. 1966 at Wembley. Argentina captain Antonio Rattín, who died 4 days ago, on the exact day both nations won their quarterfinals, was sent off for dissent. He refused to leave the pitch for 10 minutes. He crumpled a corner flag. He sat on the red carpet reserved for the Queen. The chaos of that moment and the language barrier between him and the referee led directly to FIFA introducing the yellow and red card system at the next World Cup in 1970. Rattín said years later, "I twisted the English flag and insulted them. Then I sat on the Queen's carpet for about 5 minutes. It was a very nice red carpet. He died 4 days before Argentina and England were drawn together again at a World Cup. The man who started this rivalry did not live to see its latest chapter. 1986 in Mexico. Maradona punched the ball into the net with his hand, told reporters it was scored a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. Then 4 minutes later, produced what is universally known as the goal of the century. 2 goals in 1 match. 1, the most controversial in World Cup history. 1, the greatest individual goal in World Cup history. England lost. 40 years later, the wound is still open. 1998 in France, David Beckham was fouled by Diego Simeone. He flicked his leg back in response. Simeone collapsed to the turf. Red card. England played the final 70 minutes with 10 men, pushed the match to penalties, and lost. Beckham was made a national villain for 2 full years. Simeone admitted years later he had deliberately engineered the situation to get the card shown. 2002 in Japan. Beckham returned to face Argentina. He scored the penalty. England won 1-0. The most personal piece of revenge in English football history and their only World Cup victory over Argentina since 1966. 5 meetings, 1 England win, 4 defeats or penalty exits. And into Wednesday steps Messi at 39, 8 goals at this tournament, chanting about the Falklands in 2 dressing rooms, still the most dangerous player at the World Cup. Against him stands Jude Bellingham at 22, who scored both England goals to eliminate Norway in the quarterfinal and who has never played Argentina at any level in his professional career. That contrast, the player ending his story against the player beginning his, is the match inside the match tonight. Hit subscribe right now, because whatever happens in Atlanta is going to be discussed for the next 40 years, the exact same way 1986 still is. Harry Kane said this week, "We won't be drawn into the rivalry. The focus is purely on the football." Argentina coach Scaloni said, "The message to the Argentine people is that this is a soccer match, nothing more than that." They are the only 2 people connected to this fixture who appear to believe that. A flag was burned in Buenos Aires by fans who could not correctly identify the flag of the country they were targeting. Argentina's foreign minister published a Falkland sovereignty essay the week of a football match. The FBI deployed additional security resources across an American city. Argentina's players sang about a war that killed 907 people in 2 separate World Cup dressing rooms, and FIFA did nothing. Tonight, all of it lands on a pitch in Atlanta. 90 minutes. One side goes home, the other goes to the World Cup final. And whichever way it ends, this rivalry will not be finished. It never is.